spring along today with what I'm wearing. Mum and I went shopping the other day. I think I took you along actually, it was last week. And the shops were just absolutely full of all the spring colours, and it's really starting to get me excited. We've even had a couple of sunny days in Manchester this week, so it's got me thinking about the spring garden plans as well, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago I did a video just talking about everything that I've learned on sort of the topic of wellness and specifically nutrition. So I thought today it might be helpful to sort of bring all of that to life and show you what I actually eat in a typical day. I know in all of my weekly vlogs I include my meals and I include some recipes and that sort of thing. I thought today I'll just make an extra effort to really talk you through what I'm eating, why I'm eating it, and then give you the recipes for everything that we eat. So first things first, I actually mentioned in that video a couple of weeks ago that there is something that I drink every single day, and actually so does my whole family. My parents have been staying with me for the last couple of weeks, and part of my dad's everyday morning routine, he wakes up before my mum and I, and he comes down, he makes this drink for us, and then brings it up so that we can have it in bed before we come down in the morning. That is how much of a part of all of our routine it is, and that is AG1, which will come as no surprise to anyone because I have talked about them and used them for years, but they are actually very kindly sponsoring this part of the video today. So AG1 is a comprehensive, convenient nutrition supplement. It has 70 high quality ingredients in one scoop. It has your vitamins, it has your minerals, it has whole food sourced nutrients to support your physical and your mental health. It supports me throughout the day in so many different ways, from my energy and my focus levels to my immune health, which is something that's super important to me and my whole family, and why we never skip a day, especially at this time of year. It helps with your hair, your skin, your nails, and even promotes healthy aging by supporting your cellular metabolism. Actually, one of the most important things to me is the quality of the ingredients in any product, and this is why I love AG1. They follow the strictest manufacturing standards with exhaustive testing and verification to make sure that every single serving of AG1 is exactly what it says on the label. It's also tested for heavy metals, for contaminants, and also for 280 banned substances, so you know you're getting a really, really high quality product, which is so important to me. As you saw this morning, it is as easy as adding 1 scoop into your shaker every morning, adding in some water, giving it a good shake, and then drinking it. I like to take mine first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, but I know that you can take it at any time of day. It's also worth saying that it actually tastes nice, so that's definitely a bonus. If you go to the link that I've popped into my description, AG1 are very kindly giving us a year's supply of their AGVitamin D3 and K2, and also 5 of their travel packs with your first purchase. These will come in so handy when I go down to London this week, so I can take them with me. And also, side note on the vitamin D3, I got some routine bloods back the other day, and the doctor was actually telling me that 70% of people in the Northern Hemisphere are vitamin D deficient, so it just shows how important taking your vitamin D is. That's the first thing that I drink every single day. It is an investment in myself that I will always make. So I'm going to finish this and then we're going to head straight out and do a big food shop before we make breakfast, because we have no food in this house. I need a big full weekly restock, and I thought I'd take you with me. So let's get going. Okay, we are home. Let me give you a quick haul of everything I got. I'm just going to give you a super quick run through like this, because it's pretty similar to what I do in my weekly food shops, which you see pretty much every week. So this is all of my fresh fruits and veggies for the week. So we've got aubergine, we've got courgette, we've got fennel, avocado, apple, kiwis, bananas, oranges. These are, actually I think I got a couple of blood oranges, which is I think what that one is. And then these are navel oranges, and they are so delicious, at least at the moment in our supermarket. They're so good. I got some walnuts that I'm going to make lunch with today. broccoli. Is there anything else in there? I think that's pretty much it for that box. And then in this one, I got some broccoli sprouts. These are such a superfood. I'm making breakfast with these, so I'll talk more about them in a second. What else have we got in here? We have got some bulgur wheat. We have got my soy milk. We've got my fennel seeds, which I use for everything recently. They just give everything so much flavour. Onions, leek, this is a fresh sourdough loaf, sweet potato, that's actually for prepping Rue's food with. I give her sweet potato. Coconut milk, what is that? I think that's cherry tomatoes in a can. I got a different sort of, so instead of just kimchi, this is called, if I can turn it round, ruby kraut. So it's like sauerkraut with red cabbage and beetroot. These are 3 cases of 12 cans. The top one is mixed beans, which I used to make like homemade beans on toast and things like chilies and that sort of thing. The middle one is chopped tomatoes, which I just use for everything. And then the bottom one is chickpeas because I get through chickpeas so fast. Okay, I'm gonna get all of this put away and then we can finally make some breakfast because I am starving. I normally have breakfast within like the first half an hour of waking up. I'm such a breakfast girl. I'm not someone who thrives on not having a breakfast or skipping breakfast. It's just not my thing. I remember years ago I tried doing intermittent fasting. It just didn't work for me. I know that fasting is something that so many people swear by, and actually my dad, recently he's been reading all of these books. He's onto a new book now. He's on to Super Life by Darren Ilian, which I've also read and recommended to you before. It's on my Amazon storefront. It's actually a really nice, sort of quite straightforward and easy to understand book, whereas I know that some of Michael Greger's work can be very science heavy, like the How Not to Age book that my dad's reading at the moment. That's got like a whole chapter that's really, really sciencey, which is great, but obviously just a little bit harder to like digest and to get through. But anyway, after all the reading that he's been doing, he's discovered the benefits of fasting. It can be really amazing for you. Some people do like these 3-day fasts, which are meant to clear out like all of your cells and just be amazing for you. But I just know that for me personally, I would find that really, really hard. I feel like it just doesn't maybe agree with me. It is finally breakfast time. I have just gulped down a big cup of tea. I have a cup of tea every single morning, just English breakfast tea. I always recommend the brand Clipper because they don't bleach their tea bags and it's all organic. My tea in the morning is not for like any health benefits or anything like that. It's just a very stereotypically English fashion. My mornings are just not quite right without my cup of tea. I did just quickly gulp that down and now we are having breakfast. So one of the things that's been really important to me recently is my protein that I'm getting throughout the day. Because honestly, over the last like month or so, I've been working out more than I have done for years, just because I love this new Reformer Pilates studio so much that you cannot turn me away from that studio. I am there all of the time. So I've just been more mindful about making sure that my meals have some source of protein in them just to help with my recovery from the gym. So any of you that know me well will know that a breakfast staple for me is avocado on rye bread, but I have recently been adding chickpeas to this, like I said, just to get that source of protein, a bit of an extra source of fibre, and I've also been adding my broccoli sprouts or really any other sort of like micro green, because these are an absolute powerhouse when it comes to micronutrients. Someone described this to me once as, or I read in a book or something about the fact that these are like the beginning of new life. Obviously these are the sprouts that then the broccoli would grow from. So they're just absolutely densely packed full of things that are great for you. That is also why, I don't know if this is a fact or not, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure there is more nutrients in smaller vegetables. So let's say you're buying a courgette, for example, there would be more nutrients the smaller the courgette is. So you should always go for the smallest and the ones that are most vibrant in colour, so like the really, really dark green veggies and things like that, but I don't know, don't quote me. Anyway, I batch cook my chickpeas that I put on top of my avocado toast just like once every few days to make it quick and easy in the morning. I will show you what I do to them. It's so simple, but it makes them so delicious. And you can just use them in basically any recipes. I think one of the things that I've definitely noticed makes a huge difference is meal prepping or doing like ingredient prepping for your meals. So For example, having quinoa cooked in the fridge, having my chickpeas ready to go, having something like sweet potato ready to go. It just makes putting meals together so much quicker for when you're in a rush later in the week. So you may have noticed that I always have rye bread rather than just like regular bread in the morning, or rather than sourdough or something like that. My main reason for this is that I just feel like I feel better and function better for not having like a huge amount of gluten very first thing in the morning. I'm not gluten intolerant or anything like that to my knowledge anyway, and I definitely still eat bread. I'll probably eat bread with lunch today, but I just feel that the first meal of the day on an empty stomach, it's so important what you eat. So it's just personal preference and what I found works for me, but I prefer to go for a gluten-free bread first thing in the morning. So let me show you how I make this, and I would highly recommend the chickpeas, they're so yum. Right, need to get some light on in here because it is such a rainy day. That's better. It's a good avocado day. I am so ready for this. I'm starving. I've just been eating the chickpeas out of the pan. Just even the chickpeas on their own, cooked in the celery salt and the fennel, I could just eat them as a snack. In fact, I do. They'll be in my fridge, and I kid myself that I keep them for meal prep, and then I just go in there and eat them all. They're so good. I just realised I completely forgot to mention one of the biggest things I'm doing at the moment for my protein in the morning, which is making a protein smoothie to go along with my breakfast. Which I'm doing almost every day at the moment, probably every other day actually I would say. So I make mine using this organic hemp protein. It's just 100% hemp. I've used it for ages, and also what I quite like about this one is it's not sweet. Some protein powders, I feel like once you put your sort of fruits and things like that into your smoothies, it's just overpoweringly sweet, which I don't love. So I prefer to use this and then add in my own natural sweetness using fruits and berries. I also find that having a smoothie in the morning is a really good way to incorporate raw greens into your diet. I'm just not a massive salad girl when the weather looks like it does today outside, but I can always go for a smoothie, and it feels like having a dessert after breakfast. I'll make this now to go along with my breakfast, and I'll show you what goes into this protein smoothie. Okay, it is lunchtime and I'm very much in the mood for a soup today. To be honest, I'm always in the mood for a soup. I am such a soup girl that when it comes to summer, I actually get almost a bit disappointed when it's too warm to want soup. But today I thought I would treat myself to a new soup recipe. I'm going to use Deliciously Ella's new book, which is Healthy Made Simple. The team from Deliciously Ella very kindly sent this to me. And it's got so many gorgeous recipes in. You will know that I'm a huge fan of Deliciously Ella because she believes in so many of the principles that I believe in around food. When I first made the switch over to being fully plant-based, and also when I became so much more aware of how important whole foods were, I found Deliciously Ella's recipe books so helpful. Anyway, I picked out this recipe to make for lunch, which is pea, broccoli and walnut soup with herby croutons. Broccoli soup is always a go-to for me. It tastes so much better than it sounds, I promise, and same with pea soup. So combining the two, I feel like can only be a good thing. Walnuts are also an absolute powerhouse of nutrients. These are just such a great way of packing in loads and loads of veggies to help you towards your 30 plants a week goal, and also just using anything up that you have in the fridge that maybe just needs to be used quick. I make soup every single week. Let's do this. Just prepped all of the ingredients so that they're ready to go. So we've got the leeks, the peas, the broccoli, this is veg stock, and then some garlic as well. And then I think it's pretty much just a case of throwing it all in together and then making the croutons separately to put on top. Good evening, everyone. Feels really weird that the only place I've spoken to you from all day is the kitchen, but I guess that's kind of just the nature of what I eat in a day, because it all kind of just happens in the kitchen, doesn't it? So it's dinner time, and for dinner I am going to make like a really lovely tomatoey orzo tray bake with loads of veggies, maybe some tofu, maybe some butter beans, just to make sure I'm getting some protein in there, make sure I've got loads of different veggies. Most of all, make sure that it's yummy and warming and really satisfying, because is dinner my favourite meal of the day? I think so. I think dinner is the best meal. Most of my favourite foods are dinner time foods. So I've just started prepping some aubergine, because aubergine takes a while to cook. So I've just cubed it and then put some herbs on it. There isn't really like a set recipe for this, because I'm kind of going to make it up as I go, but I'll make sure that I show you everything that I put in, and then I'll put in the description like rough amounts and that sort of thing. So let's get going. I've just put the tofu and the aubergine to one side. I've got 2 trays out because I'm going to make this in a big batch. Just fried off some onions and garlic, added in some water and some dried chives, and now I'm going to throw in a veggie stock cube just into that. Everything I've done so far is only part cooked, so it'll finish cooking when I put it into the oven. But now I'm just going to add in some of these cherry tomatoes. They're the same ones that we bought today. This is just an open can I had. Turns out it does actually all fit in one tray, so I've just got rid of this one, and I'm going to make it all in here. about to get myself changed and ready for bed. That is everything that I will eat today. The only other thing I might have is like a peppermint tea or something. I'm really rubbish at showing what I drink. I just drink tea basically all day, different herbal teas, and obviously lots of water throughout the day as well. But yeah, I'm going to get myself sorted for London because I'm going to London for the rest of this week. So next week's vlog will be a London vlog, which I'm really looking forward to because it's nice to do something different. I used to live in London, for any of you that are new here, so I always love going back, and I'm seeing lots of friends, and we'll obviously just go to lots of my favourite places to do shopping and get coffee and get brunch and all of that sort of stuff too. I hope today's video was helpful in some way. I hope it was helpful to get a little bit more specific in terms of the recipes and have them to refer to. I hope that you have the best week ever, and I can't wait to catch up next weekend with a big fun London Friends vlog. Bye guys.